Hi, I'm Ian Boddy. I've been honored to be the mayor of the City of Owen Sound and to work with a very strong council for the past 4 years. I am seeking re-election as your mayor of Owen Sound. Council has positioned our community for appropriate growth by making the right connections and fostering the right relationships. We've made investments towards economic growth, and we can't stop now. We've invested in infrastructure in order to have development-ready land and have launched an entrepreneurial attraction campaign. We're working with local industry, small business, and local entrepreneurs to leverage success, secure jobs, repurpose space, and support the new economy. We're not done yet. Council will ensure our community remains our home by fostering a sense of place, lifestyle, and by celebrating the culture of Owen Sound. We've built parks, revitalized facilities and trails, and have a river precinct plan to ensure our city exceeds resident and visitors' expectations. We're working towards affordable housing, and in partnership with Grey County, we recognize the work to be done in social services. We support our culture, celebrate our past, and are looking to our future. We're not done yet. Council will continue to seek private, public partnerships and build relationships with stakeholders, including our neighboring municipalities. We've streamlined the planning process for development, waived residential development charges, and are positioning our community as investment ready. We put pipes in the ground, started to tell our story outside of the region, and are attracting world-class employers. We're proud of where we live, and we're ready to share that with others. There is power in partnership and collaboration. We're looking forward to finding efficiencies and celebrating our successes. We're not done yet. Council will continue to explore cost savings opportunities and find financial efficiencies in our city. We've worked hard to ensure taxpayer money is fully utilized. We've leveraged grants, found efficiencies in operations of our city, and have explored cost savings measures. We will research and review opportunities to regionalize services and will make an informed decision on how best to spend taxpayers' money. We're not done yet. We've poured a strong foundation in our community over the last 4 years. Now it's time to build on our community success. Please re-elect me, Ian Boddy, as your mayor of the City of Owen Sound. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Ray Botton. I'm running for mayor of Owen Sound. I'm an outreach worker for over 16 years in downtown Owen Sound and across the world. But right here in Owen Sound, I've decided to put my name forward because there are things that definitely need to change. Number one reason why I'm running for mayor, and many people know this, is because the homeless population right here in Owen Sound is growing. It's not going away. The council here in Owen Sound as well as Grey County might say that everyone's taken care of, but that's not true. A few of us have been over just over 120 days outside because our emergency shelter, the sanctuary, was closed down. And we're out there raising money to be able to help others who are in need of help right today. Last night, I have to tell the truth, there was a 21-year-old woman who was sitting with us outside of the shelter who didn't have a place to go. She phoned Safe and Sound, which was the direction for her to be able to get a motel, and the motel was closed, so she had no place to go. A number of minutes went by. She phoned the police, told her situation, and they said, "I'm sorry, there's nothing we can do." And that was it. And so about 20 minutes later, we hear a whole bunch of sirens, we hear screaming, and then we find out that this person, this young woman, was unfortunately wanting to kill herself. And so why? Because the pressure on her life over and over has caused her to be homeless. Well, what was her story in the end? Well, somebody took care of her, a private citizen. So listen, I just want to say this. If we can work together as a city, then we can help the homeless. There's no excuse for council not be able to help. It's not just a province issue, it's a together issue. It's a community issue. So I could go on and on and on and on, and people are wondering when we're going to get off the street. We're not. because we are social advocates. We are there for the people. And that's why I'm running for mayor. Mayor is something I don't know. Would I be a good mayor? I don't know. There's lots to learn. But together we can do it, and that's why I'm running. Vote for Ray, your choice. Thank you.
Hello, I've been a resident of Owen Sound for 27 years, and at the time when I moved here, the population was 21,000 something. Now it's 21,341. My past work history has been mostly in the retail management positions. I was CEO of Manhattan 101 in the USA, and now I currently am a wide load pilot escort, which means that I am a vehicle in the front of wide loads, ensuring the safe delivery of large trucks and equipment. I work with many people, and in working across North America, you just encounter different environments, work environments. Eventually, though, I opened up the store Nancy Lee Designer Fashions here on 10th Street, so I'm aware of small businesses, the struggles of small businesses, and what they encounter here in Owen Sound. I believe in referendums to ensure that the people are heard on top issues. I believe in spending restraint during tough economic slowdowns and balancing of budgets. I believe we should have fair taxes. We need to be able to afford our homes, and I hear that many people are struggling with the high taxes and the high water bills, which means then that we should put a hold on our taxes. We need to respect our neighbors and work with them to overcome all the difficulties we all face during these current economic times. We need to be creative. We need to diversify and bring our businesses here. Yeah, I came here because of the clean air, the clean water, and the beautiful environment. So I believe in tourism. Thank you.
2, 1.
I have chosen this time to take a quick look at the current council. Richard Thomas, the communicator, the author, the man that has the ability to persuade people to look at all the angles. Peter Lemon, the man I call to ask one question and get the answer to 10. Travis Dodd, the youngest, maybe the smartest, but definitely the guy with the most common sense approach, and who I think will lead the polls. Scott Gregg thinks outside the box, and he's not afraid to challenge council on his own. Marion Kepke, former city clerk, always does her homework, always thinks long and hard before she speaks. There are only two left, Arlene Wright and Jim McManaman, the two most experienced, most prepared, and the two councillors that the rest of us were so honored to work with. This wasn't just a council, this is a team that made progress. This is a team that has accomplished a great deal and has irons in the fire that need to be brought to fruition. Progression is something I'm qualified to talk about. I didn't just fly in here from Toronto 3 to 4 years ago. I was born and raised here. I married an Owen Sound girl. We raised our 2 boys in Owen Sound, and our 2 grandsons are being raised here as well. I know what this city looked like 10, 20, 30, 40 years ago, and I challenge anyone that's been here 3 to 4 years to talk about what progression should look like in our community. This is a council that is responsible, a council that makes progress by challenging one another, and a successful council because we're led by one of the best mayors this city has ever seen. Just remember this, it's not the team with the best player that's successful, but so often the players with the best team that is. In this case, I believe we have both. I ask for your trust and your vote on October 22nd. Brian O'Leary, Deputy Mayor.
Good afternoon. The question floating around the city is, who is Paul Patil, candidate for Deputy Mayor? Now let me introduce myself and tell you a little of what I'm about. My wife Diane and I stumbled upon this city approximately 16 years ago when looking for a place to reside during what they would call our golden years. We fell in love with the beauty of the treed cliffs of the escarpment and the sparkling waters of Georgian Bay and bought property up in Dyers Bay where we had hoped to build our dream home. However, as life has it, we realized that as we get older, we would require all the amenities that a big city could provide. So we purchased a rather unique property in Owen Sound, spent a year and a half building a rather uncommon home, and now have settled down to enjoy the fruits of our labor. This enjoyment was short-lived. After we received our tax assessment of our new home, we were both without word. It was 3 times what we were assessed for our previous home from metropolitan Toronto. We immediately thought of putting our home up for sale and move out of the city. And this is how it began. It became the catalyst to get involved. High property taxes. This is a city that claimed the slogan, "It is a place you want to be," and promotes itself as a retirement community. This claim is partially flawed, as the financial burden is primarily placed on the citizens to support all functions of the city. Industries and commerce leave, and industries and commerce are not easily attracted to the city for not tax reasons, but more for no reason to be here at all. Let me explain and be truthfully blunt about it, and not to demean our situation, but we must acknowledge where our strengths are and swiftly move in that direction. The region's infrastructure has been severely hampered by the removal of the rail line. The harbour has no real use. There is no regular bus route of at least twice a week to any destination in or out of Owen Sound. Our roads in winter can be shut down during severe snowstorms, cutting the city from other centres. We have become a car culture. In order to move into the future, we must undergo a major paradigm shift, and that shift should highlight the arts, crafts, and culture of the area. In turn, this will make Owen Sound a hub for tourism and a gateway to the rest of the Grey Bruce. In order to achieve this, the city must undergo a revitalization and infrastructure project. We will conduct a study and develop a comprehensive plan that will focus on the jewel of our city, the harbour. When successful, this enterprise will aid in resolving many of the socioeconomic issues currently faced by the city of Owen Sound. Such success can only be accomplished by council and citizenry that will put forth a genuine effort and work cohesively to achieve this common goal. I, Paul Patil, am putting my foot forward. Will you join me? Thank you.
Some background. I'm married to Wendy Bai, and together we've raised 6 children in this town. I practiced law here for 30 years, and I moved to this area for the natural beauty and also for the scale of this place. I simply love Owen Sound. This is my first run for office. Our council has done a great job. We have a lot of wind in our sails, and I'd like to be part of the momentum, part of moving forward with the town. There's serious work to be done, and if elected, I'd focus on 3 priorities. First, it's time to really get serious about the downtown. Too many buildings are vacant, too many former stores are looking tattered, and we see scores of unemployed people just walking dogs downtown. Nobody wants to visit that kind of a downtown. Much of what we tried has not worked. We had the big dig, we have a facade improvement program, but still the stores are not being attracted in the numbers that we need to see. We need fresh eyes, and so I propose that we hire an out-of-town person, someone with a fresh set of eyes and a fresh vision, somebody who's done this before, and by this I mean turn around a downtown before. There's many, many experts out there, and I suggest it's time for the city to bring one in to let our town shine again in the way that we know it can happen. It's time to get somebody who can consult with the stakeholders and move this downtown around again. The second priority I'd have is to get serious about cutting fire and police costs. They're simply too high. Police alone is $8 million. That's simply an insane number for a town of 20,000. And fire, we now have over 31 full-time firefighters. And that, too, for a handful of fires a year cannot be sustained. Not only does it drive up taxes, but when you have those high costs, it makes it impossible to talk to Meaford, let alone Georgian Bluffs, about what we might do together to provide these services to our community. We need to cut them down, and I'd like to be part of that process. The third priority I'd have is to make our cultural jewels shine again. I invite you to walk around the library or go into the library. It looks shabby, and I've written to the library about this. It looks shabby, and frankly, it looks like nobody cares. And that gives you a false sense if you're a visitor to this town, because many people in this town care deeply about our cultural institutions, and I'd like to see them turn around. As for the gallery, it's time to let it out of jail. It had its setback, it had its budgetary issues, and we know that. But it's time to hire a progressive director, someone who can take the institution and make it shine again like we know it can for this area and for this region. So those are my priorities: the downtown, cutting fire and police, and also improving our cultural landscape in this town. Vote for me, and I promise you to focus on all 3 of those areas. I wish.
Hi, I'm Peter Lemon, candidate for re-election to Owen Sound City Council. I'm asking you for your support because I believe in Owen Sound as I know many of you do, and we need to work together to build our community. For the past 4 years, Council has been very much a say yes council to new development. This is a step in the right direction, and it's already bearing fruit. As an example, the proposed development to the east of the hospital will have 350 dwelling units in it when it's complete. The Red Hawk subdivision on the other side of 8th Street will have another 350 units in its earliest phase. This type of development will bring new taxes to the city, and so we will have more revenue without raising the tax rate. I believe right now the tax rate is too high, and the way we control that is first of all by getting new development to add to our tax revenue, because right now 47% of our budget is going for emergency services, and Council has been and needs to in the future work on controlling this cost and, if possible, getting it down. Right now, there's an arbitration process for emergency services personnel. I understand the need for that, but I don't understand for the unrealistic increases that have been given to employees in emergency services. We simply, as a community, can't afford it. Our average wage is 20% below the provincial average, yet we are expected to pay the same for emergency services personnel as a city like Toronto, which is extremely wealthy. We need to treat everybody fairly and justly, but we also, first of all, need to treat the taxpayers fairly so that people can afford to live in Owen Sound. I want to make that happen. I'm asking for your support. Thank you.
Hi, Gail McCartney here, candidate for Owen Sound City Council. Chosen to run for City Council because I love this city and I really want to be part of the team that works towards making our future prosperous and beneficial to all. I have been a realtor in Owen Sound for over 20 years now. I'm currently president of the Realtors Association of Grey Bruce Owen Sound. I've quite a bit of community experience. I've done a lot of volunteer work. I am a mother, a grandmother, a business owner, a realtor. I'm a landlord and a homeowner. This is where I choose to work and live. I think it's one of the best places that you can live in Ontario, and I think a lot of people are starting to feel the same way. I am behind the desire for growth that the current council has been working towards. I would like to be part of that. I see that as our future in Owen Sound of how we can have the kind of services and facilities that we want here without ever climbing tax rates, which I think we can all agree are already plenty high. There's some exciting things coming up for Owen Sound. There's developments moving in. I think we have a huge attraction for seniors, and with that comes jobs and opportunities for younger family members, so not maybe all of our children have to move away from Owen Sound, and to service the ever-growing senior population here. And I really want to be working with council on that, to work on the growth and plus other issues that are going to affect the city going forward. The polls are opening October 12th. We are online voting this year for the first time. So you have 7 choices for Owen Sound City Councillor. I'm asking that you make Gail McCartney one of those choices. Thank you.
My name is Riel Warlow, and I'm running for Owen Sound City Council. I grew up here, and like many young people, I moved away to go to school and start my working life. I've been back for a few years, and my husband and I just bought a house downtown. The reason I'm running for council is to help bring the city forward into its next stage. We do this by making it a place where young families can move back and making it a city where people really do want to live. I worked for the Coast Guard for a number of years, and in that time I saw harbors and waterfronts all across the country. I believe that we have one of the most beautiful places right here. I also believe that I have the expertise and the experience to guide ours to its fullest potential as a tourist destination. I look forward to working with the other councillors and leading the city to its fullest potential.
Hello, my name is Carol Merton, and I'm running for councillor in Owen Sound. I have been asked why I am running for a seat on City Council. It's simple. I want to serve you and our community. I want to be a representative voice for you. I want to bring a new perspective to council, and I want to support and improve our city now for future generations. What do I want to see in Owen Sound? I believe we need safe, welcoming, healthy neighborhoods, places where we can live and prosper, places where our children can grow up and be healthy and happy. To do that, we need affordable, available, accessible, and adequate housing. We do not have enough adequate housing currently in Owen Sound to meet our needs and the demands. I want to work to improve that, whether it be through private development, geared to income housing, or discussions with business owners. A clear message that I have heard from voters in my door-to-door campaign is that people in this city want a vibrant and attractive downtown. They don't like peeling paint, and they don't like empty storefronts. People want to take pride in their city and in their downtown. I want to support initiatives, involve community action groups, the DIA, and the city in making our downtown a vibrant and attractive neighborhood. I want to build a business culture that will encourage growth in job opportunities and choices, encourages and supports new business ideas, and develops our skills in trade space. Owen Sound has already introduced many innovative ideas to attract new business, and I want to be part of those initiatives. This city has many advantages in our multi-generational recreation and arts culture. I support marketing and promoting efforts that spread the message that Owen Sound is a great place to visit and an even better place to choose to live. What skills and experiences do I offer you? I have lived here in Owen Sound for 18 years. I am a homeowner, a taxpayer, a business owner and developer, a community volunteer, a healthcare provider, and I have raised children in this community. I call Owen Sound home. I am committed to this community, and I will work hard for you. Please vote for Carol Merton for Owen Sound Council, and thank you.
Hi there, I'm Richard Thomas, candidate for Owen Sound City Council. I'm asking for your vote in the upcoming election. I'm quite proud of what we achieved in my first term on council, and I'd like to continue that work. One of the key issues on the minds of voters is the level of taxes in the city. There are two ways to deal with that: cutting costs and increasing revenues. We did both. The development charge holiday introduced in 2015 has had a positive impact on the city's tax base, so much so that we reduced the 2018 tax bill by 2% from the revenues generated by the new development that came about as a result of this initiative. The extension of services to the new Sydenham Heights area means we now have almost 1,000 housing units in various stages of approval. This growth will ease both the tax burden and the housing shortage. I support the continuation of the development charge holiday. In 2017, building permits hit a 27-year high. We need this growth to continue. Cost cutting was undertaken in a logical manner through a service analysis that resulted in $800,000 in annual savings. We continue to work towards reducing the cost of police and fire, which presently account for almost half of our municipal budget. An OPP costing initiated by Council helped to show significant savings were possible on our police budget, and that work is going on right now. I'm committed to continuing our efforts to reduce the cost of emergency services. I have nothing but respect for the employees of these organizations, but we can no longer afford to spend half of our municipal budget on police and fire. Our commercial sector is growing. We have 2 major industrial employers currently expanding, and 2 new nuclear-related employers have chosen to locate in Owen Sound. I'd like us to develop a better working relationship with our neighbors. Many services are duplicated municipally, and I think we could all achieve cost savings by working together. I'm committed to bring affordable high-speed internet to Owen Sound through the SWIFT project. The only thing stopping high-tech companies from locating here is the lack of affordable high-speed internet that other communities take for granted. We've all heard a lot about the provincial plans for legal cannabis sales. I support legal cannabis sales in Owen Sound. Past attempts at prohibition didn't work out so well. Allowing legalized sales will force out the uncontrolled and illegal sales, just as it did when the sale of alcohol was finally permitted. We've learned that lesson. A lot of very good things happened during my first term on council. I'd like to serve a second term so that I can continue the work we've started and begin to tackle some emerging issues. I think it's important to return experienced councillors. When it comes time for you to vote, I'd like you to consider supporting me. I stand for 4 more years of growth and prosperity. Thank you.
Owen Sound is my community of choice. I'm Bill Twaddle, and I'm running for City Council because I believe in this community. I know you believe in it too. That's why your vote is so important. For almost 25 years, I've helped make the important decisions that protect and enhance this community. As a public member of city advisory committees, as a member of the Police Services Board, as chair of the local Source Water Protection Committee, and for 17 years as a member of City Council. I've shown that I do my homework, that I ask the tough questions, that I bring thoughtful and informed judgment to the issues. You should expect no less. I have consistently supported the initiatives that protect and enhance this community and make it a community of choice for all. From protecting our drinking water to improving our sewage treatment system. From the regional recreation center to ensuring sustainable transit. Owen Sound faces many significant challenges, including creating a climate to protect the existing business, especially in the downtown, and to encourage new growth. There are no easy answers, but I've consistently shown that I'm prepared to take on the big issues. Experience matters. I have the experience and the proven commitment necessary to meet these challenges. You should expect no less. This October, please vote for Bill Twaddle. I won't let you down. Thank you.
Hello, my name's Marian Kepke, and I've been proud to serve the citizens of Owen Sound for the past 4 years as a municipal councillor. I'm speaking to you today seeking re-election and your support for a further 4-year term. My commitment to you is making Owen Sound the best place to live, work, and play. We need to focus on what we have to offer in Owen Sound and continue to make it a place where you want to live. Our growth pattern is evolving with the increase in varied business initiatives, opportunities, housing development, and expanded culture. My council team has had many accomplishments over the past 4 years, and many projects are just getting underway. However, there is a broad range of topics that continue to face council. Just to name a few: 1, improvements and growth of the downtown area, specifically as they relate to parking, vacancy rebates, expansion of the River Precinct, replacement of the 10th Street Bridge. 2, emergency services, to which both fire and police teams who are dedicated to the profession put their lives on the line and do an excellent job. However, we need to continue the efforts to reduce municipal costs relating to emergency services, which is a 48% portion of the city's budget, namely getting the arbitration system changed to reflect ability to pay. 3, infrastructure requirements to boost industrial and residential development and continued growth in these areas. 4, the future of vacant properties such as the old courthouse facility and privately owned properties like the former Black Cross and Kennedy site and other sites along the harbor. 5. Enhancements to the harbor in an effort to make the harbor more attractive to tourists. 6. Youth retention and new business development initiatives. 7. Promoting the use of the city's cultural assets, such as the art gallery, library, recreation facilities, sports fields, and Harrison Park. 8. Clean potable water and water management initiatives. 9. Affordable housing. And the list goes on. All of these topics take intense review and thought, clear vision, conscientious decision-making, and funding assistance where possible. I will continue to do my best to keep municipal spending at a reasonable limit in an effort to maintain infrastructure demands and advance growth. My experience as a councillor and municipal employee has taught me that the public want answers to why things are being done the way they are. I will continue these efforts as a councillor and keep on asking the questions and getting you the answers. Internet and telephone voting takes place between October 12th and October 22nd. Please re-elect Marion Kepke for council. Thank you.
So my name's Steve Hensa. A lot of people know me in town as the casual mortgage guy. I've got my office on the 10th Street Bridge. I'm very involved in the community. I sit on a number of boards. I'm past chamber chair, Big Brothers. I was on Northern Lights. I was actually Blinky in the parades. I'm on the Grace Sabo Foundation board. I was on the accessibility board with the city, the cultural board with the City of Owen Sound. I love community involvement. I've got a lot of energy. I just love it. I came here about 10 years ago, and from my humble beginnings in Owen Sound, I became recognized as a mortgage professional, and everybody knows me. They see me around all the time. Now, to get back to our election coming up, I've got a couple points that I'd like to address that I think need attention ASAP. First one, 10th Street between 2nd and 3rd. I really believe that area is not utilized enough. I mean, that's first impressions for people coming into the area. And to me, sitting in my car, there's some rundown buildings, dirty windows. I think we could do a lot better. Our downtown core, and this is my opinion, it's still modeled after a 1950s era. We at the city, if I get on, we have to arrange subcommittees with artisans, musicians, craft people to give their ideas of how to revitalize the core. We need it to be a destination for people to come. People have asked me, what about tourism? Personally, I don't think we're a huge tourist area. We can't compare ourselves with Collingwood having a $100 million ski resort, but we are an events town. Summerfolk, there's the Harbor Fest that had happened, there's the Salmon Derby. Those are great things, and they bring in a lot of people. Let's elaborate on that more. More community housing. We've got to push the government to get funding to help seniors, to help people in dire need. The harbor, everyone's asking me about. I think the public needs to be made aware. I read a 1977 ministry article that basically deemed that harbor to be one of the worst in the area. And I just really think that people should be made more aware of. I think signs should be posted. I think it's important. A couple more things. Get rid of that $2,500 incentive to commercial landlords. Parking. Come on, guys. That's been a 40-year conversation. Let's get on, make it free, make the lots free, and try to find the money somewhere else. New business, new industry brings a larger tax base and makes the community thrive. Vote Hensa, October 12th to the 22nd. Be in the 2018 movement. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Scott Gregg, candidate for Owen Sound City Council. I am married to Tracy of 18 years. We have a son, Shane, who's 18, a daughter, Nicole, who's 16. In 2006, we opened our business, Runner's Den, in downtown Owen Sound, and were honored the following year by the Owen Sound Chamber of Commerce as New Business of the Year. I coached minor hockey and softball for many years in Owen Sound, and for 10 years was a local Terry Fox run organizer. I believe as a member of council, I have listened and was attentive to your concerns. I have voted against pay raises for council in the past as I didn't think it recognized the current level of income in our community. I was also offering various solutions at budget time. 2 years ago, voting against a budget that had an increase after our budget deliberations. This past year, Council unanimously endorsed a motion that there be no increase after the budget deliberations in November and December. I'm proud of that. I've supported organizational and committee restructuring, which has and will further enhance customer service and developmental ideas in Owen Sound. Over the last 4 years, we took several punches to the stomach of frozen pipes to the expense of approximately $2 million, dual outbreaks of severe arson fires, and several school closures. However, I see tremendous optimism by many in Owen Sound. I think Owen Sound is on the move. We have many development approvals which are set to begin, many residential developments on 8th Street East. We have had manufacturing investments and expansions in our community, including McLean Engineering, Belwick Packaging, BWXT, Brotec, just to name a few. Owen Sound is able and will be able to grow responsibly and necessarily over the next several years. Growth is needed to assist in infrastructure replacement and improvements. Example of that is roads. Bad road condition hurts you in the pocketbook, hurts you, the taxpayer, quite severely, and leaves a very negative first impression in our community to newcomers or tourists. I will continue to optimize costs and operations relating to emergency service provision and continue to support manufacturing sectors as it enhances the resiliency of our community. We have done past site visits to plants, and I support doing those again in the future to increase our knowledge. I thank Rogers today for the opportunity to express myself, and thank you, the residents, who have placed me on their past council. I politely today ask for your support once again in 2018. Thank you.
Hi there, my name is Brock Hamley. I'm running for Owen Sound City Council. As a young person, I was fortunate to have the choice to come back to Owen Sound. I left to get an education, and I went on to establish my career in the halls of Parliament working for a Member of Parliament. But I always knew that this was where I wanted to be. It's where my father grew up and my grandparents before him. It's where family still is. But more and more young people are unable to return like I did. Young people are unable to live close to their families and the memories they built as kids, which is why we need to build a community that meets the modern day needs of the young professional. And to do that, we need faster, more reliable fiber internet. I work from home for a small tech company, and according to Stats Canada, 19% of Canadians work from home, with this number only expected to grow. Unless we are meeting this growing demand for work-life flexibility, our young people will continue to have to leave home to pursue opportunities for themselves and their families. And while it's important to ensure people are connected to external markets, we must be mindful of also growing our local economy. Our waterfront and downtown core is full of potential, but it has stagnated. I support plans for a downtown river precinct project, and I will advocate for that if I am lucky enough to be a city councillor. Many shop fronts have been shuttered for too long, with landlords being given little incentive to find tenants. We need to evaluate our current approach and start positioning Owen Sound as a place that people want to come to experience that small town charm in a big way. Lastly, and probably most importantly, we need to be working to ensure that our taxes are competitive. I've been door knocking all across Owen Sound this summer, and the number one thing I've heard is that taxes are too high. We cannot attract young families if property taxes are drastically higher than our neighboring municipalities, and we cannot support seniors on fixed incomes if we are taxing them out of house and home. Without a low tax rate, we cannot hope to grow our community. And if we can't grow our community, we can't deliver effective services and supports that our community relies on. There are several towns that we can look to as examples in Ontario and Canada that have faced similar challenges and overcome them. We should look to them to inform our approach to tackling these issues. We need to make Owen Sound a premier destination known for its economic success and its beautiful environment. We can't wait to get working on these issues, and if I have the good fortune to earn your support between October 12th and 22nd, I will work every day to be a strong advocate for you and for what matters to you. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Jackie, and I'm running for Owen Sound City Council. I grew up in Owen Sound, and even when I moved away to study abroad, Owen Sound was always there. So much so that I moved back with my husband about 8 years ago and started a successful business downtown in 2012. For the past 2 years, I've been working hard as a member of the Downtown Improvement Area, which made me feel even more connected to our city. And then something changed. It happened when I attended a conference for business improvement areas, and I was so inspired by other things that successful communities were doing. And it made me want to do more, work with other people to improve on the issues that I think are keeping our community stagnant. So I decided to run for City Council. I want to work for the entire community to give everyone a voice. I believe our City Council could be more accessible, and I think it's important to work on meaningful collaborations because we really are all in this together. And our people are our best assets. They bring different opinions, experiences, perspectives. I want everyone to feel empowered and supported enough that they feel that they can and want to contribute to how things are moving forward. In order to build our city, we need to work on revitalizing our downtown core. We need to be aware that it can be seen as an indicator of our entire community's economic wealth and health. It is what potential new businesses and industry look at, as well as people who are looking to relocate. There are so many investments we can and should be making, and people today are looking for a sense of place and a sense of community, more so than ever before. We want a more authentic experience. And there's a shift happening, and Owen Sound needs to be on board. Of course, there's already so much to celebrate about living here, and I would love to work together to build on that. Take arts and culture, for instance, from live music to festivals to art galleries to plays at the Roxy's. We already have it all. As a member of City Council, I want to continue to build on the momentum we're already creating here to support and leverage our vibrant local art culture in Owen Sound. As your representative on council, I will work with you to grow our city so we can lessen the tax burden on all of us while retaining the necessary services that our taxes support. I will work with you to create safe and inclusive public spaces where we can build a strong, connected, and safe community. And I will work with you to create transparent and accessible decision-making processes that better engage all citizens in our local democracy. I know I have a lot to learn. This would be my first time serving on council, but one of my strengths is my openness to learning. I'm not afraid to work hard, and I'm definitely not afraid to listen. The reality is, I'm a lifer when it comes to Owen Sound. I'm in this for the long haul, and I hope you're in this with me too. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Travis Dodd, and I'm seeking your support for re-election as Owen Sound City Councillor. Outside of municipal politics, I'm a business development manager for Nickel Insurance, an active Kiwanian, a proud in-school student mentor for Big Brothers Big Sisters of Owen Sound, and one of the co-organizers for the Young Professionals Network hosted through Grey County. I was fortunate to represent the residents of Owen Sound for the past 4 years, and over those 4 years, it has shown me how much Owen Sound has to offer. During my term as an elected councillor, I sat on the 3 major committees and chaired the Community Services Committee, Economic Development and Tourism, and vice-chaired for Corporate Services and Parks and Recreation. So I ask you, how do you envision the city of Owen Sound in the next 10 years, 15 years? I see a city that is safe, healthy, and inclusive for all of our residents. I see a city utilizing our public space in an efficient manner that promotes healthy lifestyles and incorporates everyone's fitness levels and mobility issues. I see our city expanding with new developments in our Sydenham Heights region, including the developments of Red Hawk and Braemont, which will total about 750 new homes. I see our city working through our community improvement plan to help earmark surplus pieces of land for affordable housing and modifying our city plans to include the building of smaller homes. I see Owen Sound working with its neighboring municipalities and creating positive opportunities for everyone. I see supportive partnerships that include sports and recreation, waste management, tourism, and emergency services. These all adhere to the rising expenses for everyone. I see a city that focuses on retention, not only for its businesses, but our residents as well. I see greater opportunities for our next generations. I see my future family growing up here. I see your children, I see your grandchildren, all having more opportunities in Owen Sound. I've worked hard over the past 4 years as your representative to help put procedures in place for our youth, our residential and commercial developments, and ensuring that our services are meeting the needs of our residents today. I believe in the city. I believe in the opportunities the city has and want to be part of the team that continues to help make Owen Sound a better place tomorrow than it is today. But this is only the beginning. Change has just begun, and I have more work to do. And I'm asking you for your support on October 22nd. Please vote Travis Dodd for City of Owen Sound Councillor, and let's make these visions turn into reality. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Danae Moores, and I'm a candidate for City Council. I'm running for City Council because Owen Sound's very important to me both personally and professionally. Personally, it is where I was born and raised, and is where I returned home from after finishing university and establishing my nursing career. It is also where my entire family still lives, and being close to them is very important to me. I've seen the city change a little over the years, and where I could, I participated in discussions about how we could make Owen Sound even a better place for families. Owen Sound is important to me professionally because when it was time to return home, I came back with a purpose. As a nurse, I knew all too well that there was a gap in the access to home care, especially for seniors. That's why I established Nurse Next Door Georgian Bay. I knew I could play a role in supporting our aging population, keep them at home, and helping them still remain a vital part of our community. That is why Owen Sound is very important to me. And what I want to be part of City Council is to help usher in change in a thoughtful, accountable, and most importantly, a decisive way. Does it sometimes feel like our city continues to grapple on the same issues, the downtown, the harbor, traffic, development? Having lived in other parts of Ontario, it seems other communities are outpacing us on very key areas and making progress. As a candidate, I'm surprised some of the issues I'm asked about are ones that were still an issue from the last election and yet remain unresolved. We can't keep talking about the same things. We need to act. For example, when we talk about revitalizing the downtown core, do you have the confidence that the projects were sequenced and the disruptions to the community were understood? How will the proposed redevelopment of the Sydenham River affect the downtown businesses? What happens when the project comes up against the 10th Street Bridge construction? What difference will it make to have free or paid parking if Owen Sound downtown core seems always under construction? As a nurse by profession, I look at issues the way I would a symptom. A symptom is an indication something is wrong, but it's not the illness. I solve problems by looking at the bigger picture. What is the symptom telling me? Once I figure it out, I act, because the decision I don't make won't fix anything. My approach when it comes to my service in the community as a Rotarian and on local committees, I bring thoughtful, attentive, and an open approach to understanding the challenges we are addressing. There will always be a need to assess a challenge, hear ideas, share and learn from others' experiences. We also need to be willing to make decisions. I believe council needs to be action-oriented. I want to be part of a city council that can demonstrate that we have thought about sequencing, that we have reached out to the community and understand their values, and be accountable for timing and cost on these projects. I want to be part of a council willing to take a new approach in resolving familiar issues. This is how I would serve as a city councillor. On election day, please vote Danae Moores.
Hi, I'm Jennifer Miller, and I'm running for trustee of Owen Sound Public Schools. I am past co-chair of the Blue Water District School Board Parent Involvement Committee. I sit on the Blue Water District School Board Special Education Advisory Committee. I am a member for the People of Education and a local media representative. I was on the ARC Review Committee for the Consolidation of Schools. I was past president for Bayview Elementary School prior to closure. I am the executive director of Big Brothers Big Sisters Owen Sound. I'm past president of Autism Ontario Grey Bruce, and I'm managing partner of J&J Communication Management Consulting Firm. I'm the current co-president of Eastridge Elementary School and a mom of an amazing child with special needs attending an Owen Sound Public School. I've been involved in education for many years and well-versed in advocacy. So that's a snapshot of my relevant experience in the position of trustee. Now I'd like to talk a little bit about what the role entails. It's my understanding that the trustee's role boils down to three primary functions. First, to bring concerns of the community to the table for consideration in decision making. The second is to be a steward of resources of the board within the confines of the Ministry of Education funding formula. The third is to communicate openly with the community about the actions and decisions made by the board so parents are informed about issues affecting their children. I'm not a politician, I'm a mom. I do not have a platform, and I don't believe the trustees should have an agenda. I'm not going to promise things I cannot deliver or say things for the sake of obtaining votes. What I do have, however, are values, and I will bring the principles of transparency and equity to the table and advocate for the Owen Sound community. Our kids are our future, and there is no greater responsibility than lobbying for their collective best interests. I thank you for listening and hope for your support.
Hi, my name is Erin Folds, and I am running for the Blue Water District School Board Trustee in Owen Sound. This is where I grew up, attending Alexandra, Strathcona, and OSCVI. When my husband and I started our family, we decided that our hometown was where we wanted to raise our children. My kids have all attended school in Owen Sound, and over the years I've noticed there have been some decisions made by the board that didn't make sense to me. So instead of criticizing the board, I decided to step up and offer my name to serve my community as a trustee. I am no politician. That's actually my husband's gig usually. But I am a concerned mom who wants the best for her kids, her neighbors' kids, and her community. Now I want to be as transparent as possible. My husband works at OSDSS and was recently the president of the Ontario Teachers Federation. The board staff will be negotiating with various unions over their contracts end in August 2019. I won't be able to vote on the secondary school teachers contract ratification as I would have a pecuniary interest in it. However, there have been some concerns about conflicts of interest in this campaign, and I can assure you that beyond the contract ratification vote, my husband's employment by the board won't impact my ability to serve the community on the board. In fact, I argue that it would be an asset. One of the areas I feel is necessary for the board to focus on is the declining enrollment in the public education system, which has been on a continuous decline since 2002-2003. It's certainly not due to the work in the schools, as we can see from the EQAO scores. The students of the Blue Water District School Board compared to the Bruce Gray Catholic District School Board. When I look at those scores, I can see that for the past 3 years, our students have been more successful than their Catholic counterparts. Another area the board needs to address is a rather hot topic right now, the retracting of the 2015 sex ed curriculum. Our society is changing rapidly, especially in the online environment, and we need to make sure that our students are armed with the information and skills they need to keep safe. Taking away the focus on consent, internet safety, and the LGBTQ issues, to name a few, is not going to help our children prepare themselves for these difficult situations they may be faced with. Our faculty of our schools want to ensure the success of our students and make it a priority, and we need to support them on this issue. I ask for your vote for me this month as you make your municipal election decisions. I am a hometown mom who wants my own kids to decide to raise her kids here. Our school system is a key component of that, and I'm ready to make sure the system is as strong as it can be. Thank you for your consideration and the opportunity to represent you.